What's going on, Spittin Chiclets fans? You know the drill. This interview is brought to you by No Days Wasted, the creators of DHM Detox, the vitamin for people that drink. DHM Detox is a recovery formula with a blend of natural ingredients, vitamins, and electrolytes that help you bounce back after drinking alcohol. Forget the next day nausea, brain fog, and anxiety. It's time to be smart and responsible about when you drink, and DHM Detox is your go-to drinking buddy that helps boost your body's natural response to drinking. It's risk-free purchase, so if you don't love it, they'll give you your money back. And as a bonus, here's a sneak peek at their Rapid Immunity Hydration product that is coming soon. Sign up for the email updates at nodayswastedco.com to stay in the loop. They're focused on creating functional, science-backed products that help you be your best. Also, I can't forget, No Days Wasted has also donated $10,000 to the ECHL Player Relief Fund, and they're offering 20% off your order of DHM Detox using the Biz20 promo code. Just head over to their website at nodayswastedco.com for no days wasted after drinking. Now, enjoy the interview.
We got Sean Avery in the building, and you got some nice pearly white teeth.
Holy fuck, they're white. I cannot do anything to stain them. It's impossible. All I've been doing, they're so white. I've been smoking cigarettes and drinking red wine for the last fucking 5 days to try and just dim them a little bit.
When did you get them done? Came out very good.
2 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It is the worst
I had to do it
experience ever. I was going to say, yours look...
These two, and it's hell.
It's
I still have to go through it.
They drill it. Basically, they shave your original teeth down to little tiny nubs. That's the first day. Then they put these temporary ones on you. Then you come back the next day and you meet with the ceramic specialist, the guy that designs your teeth. Then if you're lucky, you come back the third day. They break off the fucking temporaries with like a chisel and an axe.
And the whole feeling of it is disgusting.
It's fucking awful. You're frozen for a week. You'll never forget that feeling ever. At least with a slap shot or a stick, it happens and it's done. This is like 4 hours in a chair, and they're pickaxe chiseling your fucking teeth off, and then they put new teeth, and you're like...
So I have a bridge right now, but like my bone's eroding, so I have to drill in and be able to set up the peg for the one tooth, and I still have to...
Well,
and then I was going to get these beer bottle ones off to the side, maybe redone as well.
Dude, they shaved my canines. They were like, you get to design your fucking teeth. Like, whatever you want.
It's like a car.
This is perfect.
You go,
you got AC in there?
Let's go.
Heated seats?
Let's go.
Did you do that a lot in pod? Because you've been doing some acting lately, right?
Yeah, I'm a fucking heavy smoker, if anyone didn't notice, but
love ripping darts
because I had bonding because my teeth got fucked up playing, and it was all bonded, so bonding stains, and you can't. And so I'm on screen now, and you look like the fucking poor guy in the scene.
Yeah.
You can always tell, like, when an actor's made a little bit of money, his next movie comes back, and his teeth are just fucking gleaming
those are
white.
Nice, yeah.
Toilet bowl Joe Biden white. That's what I asked for. I was like, give me the Joe Biden. I want
as long as they don't fall out of your mouth.
White.
Are you allowed to talk about the movie you just?
It's
so
fine.
Christopher Nolan was the director of it. That's
fucking unreal.
That's
man.
as big time as a director in the game right now, pretty much.
I think he's probably the biggest. Yeah. It's a movie called Tenet. Comes out in July.
Is that when you were in that town in New York? You were sending Instagram videos of. You're talking.
No, that was in Beacon. That was we shot. That was a different.
Yeah, Beacon. I'm in Beacon.
I'm in Beacon. That was for like a small independent that I did probably like a month before. Beacon's 90 minutes up the West Side Highway. Beautiful fucking town. Beacon, New York. They used to.
You sold me on it.
They used to make hats there. It was a town like World War II town where they made hats. What's a hat maker called?
Haberdashery.
Haberdashery. But what's the guy that does it is
Haberdasher.
called.
Don't look at this side of the room.
Yeah, he knows to look at that one.
I went right.
So
so we filmed. It was funny because John David Washington is one of the leads in the movie, and like, you know, his dad's fucking Denzel Washington, but he also was a professional athlete. He played football. So it was very interesting just to kind of see like a guy, obviously he didn't play pro for that long, but he made the transition. His dad is probably one of the best actors ever to walk the face of the fucking earth. And this guy is the hardest working motherfucker I have ever seen.
Really?
Like, does not fucking leave set. He's still got the mentality. You can see it in his head. Like, I haven't made it yet, and I have to work extra hard because my dad's Denzel, and I'm not living in this dude's shadow.
I got to make my own name.
I got to make my own name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting to watch him work, because it's funny, when we played hockey, coming back to hockey, we hadn't got into the phase now that it's now in, where like you're playing, some guys are playing with guys that their dad played.
Yeah.
Right? This whole transition that's happening now, like I don't
Chucks, and there's just so
right,
many.
There's so many fucking players. So
I feel old.
It's interesting how that whole thing works. But Chris Nolan is a beast. It's a director that, you know what he does? He's a guy that takes a studio giving him $600 million very seriously.
Yeah,
and like doesn't fuck around and waste any time, and all day long, like Chinooks fucking Blackhawks over our head, and 300-400 extras. I mean, it was a wild. It was one movie making 101. Like, every hour that I wasn't on set, I was walking around like
taking it all in,
just like asking the camera guys, because there's so many fucking terms that you don't know, like the grips and all that shit. That like, that's a whole different language and vernacular.
And you
that
need to know it.
Yeah,
right?
you have to at some point.
You
fake it till you make it. But
I'm so I'm minor into this game, right? Like I do like fucking internet videos and shit, right?
Biz does PC. You guys didn't do
right, but okay. As funny as that may sound, that's what I was going to. But like, you learn from doing, right?
Absolutely.
So, and every time I walk in a room and I meet people, especially in like film or any type of media, I ask a ton of questions. And let's say it's not even that type of environment, I always try to find the smartest people in the room and just ask questions.
Yeah, I mean,
that's how you gain your knowledge.
That's what I don't know, like kids or people or fucking, they don't understand, like, what the fuck do I care if I have to ask a question? Like, I don't know any of this shit. I was a fucking hockey player for 20 years, right?
The only
like,
dumb question is the one you don't ask. That's
exactly.
And I think that they respect the fact that you're asking them like they're a boss. Like, they get to talk about like they're the king of the castle.
Totally. They're not like bothered by some fucking one of the actors like asking him about his rig and how much does an IMAX camera cost? Like, I was like, I have no idea how much those things are, but there's guards watching them. They must be expensive cameras.
I think the roll of film is like $70,000 a second.
The roll of film, when they're done an IMAX film, they take the film out of the camera and they put them in these steel cases that they fucking lock shut, and they take them to these trucks where they're specially made, and they like slide them into these slots. Like, it is a crazy. Yeah, I mean,
was I accurate with it's like $70,000 a second for IMAX film?
It could. I mean, it could be. It's
you have to nail, like, whatever shot you want. You have to know exactly when the sun's setting. You have to be there days before and seeing how it all goes.
I'll tell you what the hardest thing is. We were just talking to Gomer about this, because if you haven't seen it, Scott Gomez is in Young and the Restless. It's a beautiful,
stunning performance.
It's a one life to live. One life to live.
Such depth.
I'll tell you the hardest thing is, like, for fucking 20 years, I came home at 2 o'clock, or I came home at 1. I ate food, and then I'd go up to my bedroom and I'd lay down like a little baby and I'd take a nap for 2 hours. Now you get on a fucking movie set. We were getting picked up 4:30 in the morning, not coming home till 7:30 at night. You're working 15-hour days. You don't get to fucking nap. It is the hardest thing. Yeah, I saw you guys in the behind-the-scenes videos. It's like, dude, that's a long fucking day. People don't understand. Hockey's amazing. You work 4 hours a day. Maybe.
And you get a nap.
And you stay fit.
And you stay fit.
Get a nap.
Yeah, that's the
you
acting.
Fuck hot chicks.
What about that whole? You don't think actors do? That whole like scene filming that movie. Christopher Nolan's by far and away the most powerful guy on set. Is he snapping at people?
No, he's what's interesting about him is, like, I think that he sets the tone the moment the sun comes up. Like, everyone is standing on set, the sun hasn't rose yet, and like, when the director is the guy leading the charge and on his feet all day and I counted. I saw him take 4 bathroom breaks in the whole 22 days that we were shooting. This guy is a fucking beast, and it rubs off. It's like when you have a captain that's just a workhorse. You can't. It's tough to kind of let it slide. So yeah.
Gomer just said Scotty Stevens as captain's working the hardest. It's
right.
Like the same thing.
Were you able to meet Michael Caine? I know I see him on the.
Yeah, no. So they shot. This I definitely can't say a lot of. But
right.
He wasn't filming when I was filming. But that would have been that would Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, some names there.
To memorize lines, I don't know if we mentioned it last time you were on the podcast.
Oh, dude.
I can't fucking...
You said that was the toughest part?
Fuck, man. I had never memorized. I realized once I started this, I was like, when I hear a song on the radio that I've heard for 20 years, I know none of the fucking words. So now all of a sudden they hand you, like, last night I had an audition today for... Anna, the Shonda Rhimes new show about the Russian girl that came to New York and conned all these people out of money.
Oh yeah.
Finding Anna. So I get the pages last night, 6:00 at night. I got an audition today. It's 4 pages.
Oof.
Dude, I've been up for fucking 24 hours. Probably 26 hours. Like, I can't memorize shit. I have to read it 400 times before it even starts to sink in a little bit. Then I got to say it out loud another 200 times.
Right? Are you in the mirror?
Not in the mirror, but whoever's around. Like, literally, like my wife, or I've asked the dog walker to read lines with me before. Like, anyone that I can find a human that's got a fucking heartbeat. My trainer, when I go to the gym for an hour workout, he's running lines with me the whole time. He's like telling me,
you tip him for that? Is he a good extra?
I should, but no, I haven't.
Well, I know you had
dynamic
that
warm up is reading lines with Aves.
I know you had that issue with the
dog groomer that fucking
groomer.
put the tip on for me and then called me cheap when I caught her.
She texted somebody thinking it was them, but she accidentally texted Sean, writing a nasty message about Sean being cheap.
Oh, I've done that.
No, first of all, so I get a text message and it's from the groomer, and the groomer thinks she's texting her employee, and it says, Sean's coming to pick up the dogs. Make sure you add 20% on to his bill because he's cheap.
That cheap fuck never tips.
So she sends this to me. Oh. So I write back like capital LOL, bah ha 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 ha. You fucked this one up. And then me immediately go to Instagram and just unload on her.
That's one where you don't feel bad at all.
Sean,
you don't feel bad. And I love when the moment when the Instagram goes private and the Facebook and the Yelp pages start coming down. You've been effective. Like, they go silent for 48 hours. And
that company did exist for 48 hours.
It's like a guy taking a penalty on him when he's been driving him nuts. He's like, I did my job.
Are you worried about getting killed in one of these bike lane videos? Because I'm worried for you. You're going to go up to one of these trucks and tell one of these drivers, go fuck yourself.
Before you answer, he told me earlier his dream is to walk out of his door and see somebody in the act of stealing his bike.
Oh, dude,
that's what he wakes up dreaming.
No, I've played it out in my head 400 times. If I come out of my apartment and I see the guy and he's cracking my lock, there's one scenario where I drop kick him and then I curb stomp him. There's another where I have my bike lock in my hand and I lasso him with the lock and like fucking
Steven Seagal shit.
Right, like I'm going.
Well, this came up. You've had a lot of them stolen, right?
I've had a ton of bikes stolen.
Maybe we
York.
could reenact the scene and
we could. But it was like when you pick up the machine gun.
RA would be a good.
You looked good.
Hey, RA would be a great.
You
bike
looked
team.
good.
I would. I have been.
He looks like one right now.
So I'll tell you, like 3 days ago, a guy got out of his truck with a hammer, and it was the first time somebody's got out of their car. It was a heating and fucking cooling van, and the guy, we got into it. I started it. He gets out of the car with a hammer. So I always have generally my backpack, and I carry around a fucking giant can of bear spray. Gomer, you know what? Bear spray is not mace. Bear spray is bear spray.
He's pointing at Gomer. Gomer was sniffing that on the
he's from Alaska.
Up in Alaska.
Yeah, well, they got fucking bears.
Put it this way, mace ain't doing a thing to a bear.
No, God, no. Bear spray's you got a fighting chance. You got a fighting chance with bear spray. So I'm like, fuck, do I go for the bear spray or I'm thinking to myself, you got to be pretty accurate to come at me with a hammer, and you're going to get me in a spot that's going to put me down. Like, really, you got to get me on the temple or the top of the head. And I can fucking juke and move. Like, if you're coming at me, I'm going to take a step, and I'm going to try and crack you in the... Yeah, like...
In a hammer.
He has his trainer reenact all these scenes that go on in his head with him, not just his lines.
The guy's like, not today, Sean.
He's like,
we're going to do the lasso thing again.
So, I say...
I have to get sprayed with bear spray again, Sean. You ain't even tipping me, motherfucker.
So to your point, R.A., the moment that the guy knows that I'm not fucking afraid of the hammer, because I'm thinking, bro, you better have done this before, because you got one fucking shot at this. You're going to get me fucking square, or you're fucking in trouble, because you have a hammer in your hand now, so I've got cause.
Yeah.
Like,
put it right
he's playing
on
roulette.
him.
He's playing
you've just
roulette.
given me a total green light.
Protecting myself.
So that's in the situation that if the guy, if they escalate it. Generally, that doesn't happen. What happens is I roll up on a car and I start in on them, and it just depends on the weather or the time of day. Like, my material, sometimes it's good, sometimes I'm like, it's not great. I mean, I did that for a long time. I was on this, my feet.
I
and
thought
I'm
you
like,
became
I
like
gotta talk
a
shit.
police officer at some point.
Right. Well, so they look at you and they're so fucking, they're in such shock, like. They don't know what the fuck's going on.
They don't even know if you're yelling at them.
They don't know if I'm yelling at them. Then they realize that they're in the bike lane, and then they're like, this dude's this mad about me parking in the bike lane?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's a fucking crazy thing. But I'll tell you what, people really like it, because how many times a day do you see some asshole being an asshole, and you just want to throw your hands up like in fucking network and say, I don't give a fuck, I can't take it anymore, and go crazy. And people on Instagram love it, because you can live vicariously through me calling out the assholes.
Right.
And I don't let it slide.
Are you a bit of a hypocrite, in any sense of, is there something that you do where you're like, I know I'm being an asshole in this situation?
Yeah, that is a great question. I am on a daily basis, like, so first of all, I stop at all fucking red lights. I bike all over in New York City. I am the only biker in New York City that stops at a red light. If there's no, you couldn't find a fucking person.
Really?
It's 3 a.m. It's fucking 6 a.m. I'm on a dead street. I'm stopping at that red light. I challenge somebody to find a fucking video or film me of me running a fucking red light. It does not exist.
$1 million. You're going to offer $1 million?
Yeah, no. But you'll just embarrass me. You'll ruin me if you find that.
Yeah, because you are a man.
Because I can't. I'll tell you. There's one caveat, okay? There's one fucking...
What's caveat mean for half of our fan base?
Exception.
Yeah, there's one exception.
Just say exception.
One exception. One
Respect
exception.
our fan base.
I like words now. Caveat.
I've used it a million times on the podcast. He never once asked what it meant.
Caveat.
Can you respect our audience,
fine.
please?
There's one exception. There's one exception, okay? There's one exception.
I'm thinking you're making it up in your head as you go.
No. It's mildly fucking
bad.
No, it's mildly embarrassing a little bit. New York is cold, okay, for fucking 9 months of the year, and if I have the wrong gloves on, sometimes I just grab the wrong gloves. If my fucking hands are so frozen that I can hardly hold my handlebars, I'm running a fucking red. And I got full exception in my mind.
So
fuck
rarely.
You. If my hands are fucking freezing.
You'd be more likely to see a lunar eclipse than that happening, because you're obviously pretty accurate with what gloves you're picking.
I know
exactly.
I generally know, like, okay, it's going to be, I'm outside for this amount of time. I need these gloves, or like these are new leather gloves. They haven't been broken in yet. My hand, when you wear new leather gloves, your hands get
I would
cold.
agree with you in a sense, as I don't think a lot of people pay attention to the weather in order to be perfectly comfortable at the temperature they are outside.
True.
Now, you're a sick puppy,
right.
And I would imagine you have a whole algorithm in your head, and maybe even a fucking spreadsheet.
Checking the weather channel.
I have 7 pairs of gloves that are fucking weather appropriate, that have variations of like 3 to 4 degrees.
All right, well, that's my... I did the whole... I'm using Amora Pacific right now, by the way, that skincare line from Korea.
Oh, yeah?
I really.
Is this the one from he went on his house tour he showed you?
No.
Well, no, it's not. But I've really adapted the higher priority skincare.
Is this a swipe up? Or no. This is fucking straight up.
I don't think that they. I love you calling me out for that, by the way.
But listen.
But if it's a mortgage payment now, the whole process. I got the under the eye stuff. I got the.
You remember when like the word metrosexual was a thing?
Yeah.
We used to hear it.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck wants to look old now?
No.
Like, is it getting old? Looking old is not fucking cool. I'll roll into Sephora, into the fucking eye cream section, and I'll buy fucking eye cream, and I'll look weird, and the girls behind the desk are like, "Oh, who's the gift? Who's the lucky lady?" It's like, no, it's not a lucky lady. It's me. I'm putting this shit all over my face tonight. Before I go to bed, I'm gonna wake up fucking fresh.
It's the first thing women see is your face.
Your eyes, your
then,
fucking eyes.
And then they see your teeth.
And then now they see my teeth.
They might actually see your teeth first.
You can see my teeth fucking from a mile away now.
We kind of talked about the grooming thing in the World Warriors.
Well,
we got to
I
get to
actually
some
wanted
other
to get
stuff.
into. There's a lot of we have different routes to go with Sean Avery, but you got the new podcast.
I got the new podcast.
So explain kind of what's going to go into that. I'm guessing it's not going to be as hockey centric as.
It is so fucking weird, man.
Have you released it yet?
No, I think
because I've listened to the whole thing.
I think it's yeah. You listened to it.
You sent it to me. I think you have a soothing voice. I think you're an interesting guy. Obviously, you're a polarizing figure. I think you're going to be very successful, and I'm happy that Kevin Connolly added another good one to his bag because I hope he does well with that company.
Kevin Connolly started a media company, Action Park Media. I think one of his podcast guys, Bob Memory.
Bob Memory, yeah,
Memory.
He's got to follow.
Despises that guy.
Him and Portnoy.
Oh, they don't like each other.
Yeah.
I would say Memory kind of.
Dave kind of owned him
talking
a little bit.
shit and
oh fuck! Hold on a second. This fucking sex tape.
Oh, he was pounding.
Yeah,
okay,
oil
listen.
drill, oil
okay,
driller.
but I saw all the guys in the office, the Barstool office, were like, "That was the greatest performance I've ever seen." Okay, first of all,
oh God, we're gonna start another fight here.
First of all, if that was the greatest performance you've ever seen, he would have took his right hand and there would have been a cross-body ass slap. That did not happen.
Were you playing Twister out there?
That did not happen. That was a fucking straight. And then everyone's giving him props because he's standing in a catcher's position.
Wait,
like what do you?
You got to remember. You got to remember some of these.
Because these guys aren't fucking athletic and they've never done a box jump in their life.
A lot of chicks, man. They're not. Fucking,
oh my God, that was
I think
barbaric.
more than anything, I think I actually know what you're saying, but the following and seeing Dave from the beginning when he was a fat eating pizza every day.
He came up.
So, but more people think of him as like Dave Portnoy was fucking like that.
Cut his own hair with a flow beat.
Right.
Did he really?
Like you got to remember, Sean. Like this is like he started from the bottom, man.
Okay, but I'll say like hockey players get a lot of chicks. Okay, this sounds weird but like we can take care of
a lady.
I think we're the hips and the athleticism. Yeah, usually we're batting.
So they're all
average.
fucking high fiving because he's standing in a catcher stance.
It was a
with his
water
head
bed.
down,
I think it was a water bed.
And like there's no loving there. Like not a reach around and underneath and like get some like.
Yeah, but it was strictly
tits
it was
like,
strictly for like the camera's going. I'm going to flex a little bit.
You're like John Leslie right now.
Holy fuck! I was very disappointed in it. It was like barbaric. That's what I thought. I just there was no loving in it, and I like some vulnerability or something. I don't know, some sex. That was not sex. That was fucking. That was oil
drilling.
That was good.
I called it oil drilling. He was
oil drilling. Yeah,
there will be blood.
Holy shit! Great movie.
Yeah,
great. One of the best. I drink your milkshake.
Great fucking movie.
What were we talking about right before that?
His podcast.
Oh, the podcast. Yeah. So it's me talking to myself for an hour once a week.
That's hard.
Which is so hard if you're not a fucking
couple toots first.
narcissist like myself. I'm like, dude, I can fucking talk to myself for an hour, no problem.
I think I could do it too.
Some people can. You're one of them.
I think I could do it too, but I think I would always enjoy a little bit of a challenge. Like I want somebody like pushing back on my thoughts.
Right. So that's interesting because I do that to myself, sort of.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So
I play devil's advocate all the time with myself.
Right. So anyway, so we're gonna put it out. It's so fucking weird. I think, especially with me, half the people are going to say you are this is shit. This is the shittiest thing I've ever heard. They're still going to listen to it.
Yeah.
And half the people are going to be like, this is fucking good. I like this. It's soothing. It's like I can put it on the train home, and like I'm just getting shit off my chest. I'm talking about all the assholes. The first episode, I go hard on.
It's very New York based.
Yeah,
on the first podcast.
Oh, De Blasio. Yeah, New York in general.
Okay,
like,
so here's the reason I said
the fucking delivery guys in New York and the
You hit a lot of fair points. I'd be interested in hearing, and I was in agreement with majority of what you were saying. I would like to hear someone push back on you because I guilty. I sent it to a buddy of mine who I trust.
Yeah.
And he loved it. He goes, I think he very soothing. Agree with me on a lot of the points. But he said the point you made about the guy who used to actually take the subway, who was in
Bloomberg.
But apparently he was like, but he was getting dropped off in a limo at one stop. Then he had 50 guys surrounding him. He got in a cart, and then he got picked up at the next stop, and it was more of a photo op. So,
no, that is not true.
Okay, well, here's the thing. That's why when he said that, I was like, interesting. I know nothing about the subject, but if in fact is true, that's why it's always nice to have an intelligent person pushing back, where they can maybe stop you, where it might shift your mind.
Right, and I'll tell you, I've been searching for that person, but fuck,
so
I don't like a lot of people.
Well,
you know, and I
then
feel
it's perfect
like
you do it by yourself.
Yeah, I think so. We're gonna put it out, and we'll see what happens. I think it'll. Guests will come on at some point. The beautiful thing is...
Well, you said me no, and I told you I'd love to come on.
No, I said you would... Of course you would come on, but I got to get my feet under me a little bit first. Figure out what the fuck's going on. I'll tell you, my microphone at home is way better than this piece of shit.
Really?
When I turn, you can't hear me now.
Well, I think the quality of when you talk into this one is better, but whereas like
it doesn't pick up as much.
Yeah, mine's got like a little...
Yeah, I mean,
I can move around
this is
a
a
bit.
studio one.
Like I can't turn and look at you, RA. I have to turn this thing with me.
What else should we talk?
I want to talk about. We're talking about. I would love to talk about the coach stuff.
Oh, dude, fuck!
Because I looked through it. You didn't just play. Now, Mark Crawford, you got in the news about that. And you came out and said, "Hold on." But you also played for Babcock in the AHL, so you must have a couple different stories.
Yeah, Babs, dude, man, he called me into his office and one day and was like, "Did you slash my tires?" I was like,
I think we told this on the first time you're on.
Right, yeah. And I was like, I had to think to myself for a second, did I fucking slash his tires last night? No. God, no, I didn't slash your tires. So Babs was a guy that played head games. But I'll tell you one thing. When I think back now, although we have spoke about that before, now when I think about it, I was 20 years old. We were playing in Cincinnati. It was Detroit's farm team. We were fucking out of control. We were insane. I led the American League in penalty minutes that year. I think I had 378. I don't know. I was 20 years old in the American League in 2000. It was a fucking pretty tough league.
Yeah, that's the Iron League.
I was out of control. So how would you get into the mindset of a 20-year-old? You would probably fire with fire. In my head,
so you're like, he had a reason to ask you because he's like, fuck, maybe this guy did do it. He's a nut job out there.
Yeah, or it was just his way of getting into my head and getting me under control. So that was a different time, okay? But the whole Crawford thing, I'm fucking mortified. I don't think anything has affected me like this in a long time. I had a conversation with Larry Brooks the night before Thanksgiving after all this Peter stuff came out, and Brooksy kind of half-heartedly asked me, has a coach ever kind of been rough with you? Rough or tough?
Rough how?
Yeah, I was like, well, I just said it. I was like, yeah, Crow fucking, I remember getting kicked by Crow one time on the bench, but I took a penalty and I fucking deserved it. So Brooksy writes the article, and next thing you know, 3 days go by, and I wake up and fucking Mark Crawford's getting investigated because of some fucking stupid thing that I said to Larry Brooks in a text, and it's been haunting me.
Were you pissed at Brooksy?
You didn't see it coming?
I wasn't.
Brooksy in the post?
No, I think it was kind of like a perfect storm.
Yeah,
right?
It was just a perfect storm.
When you were telling the story, there was you were upset about it.
Zero.
Yeah,
zero. And honestly, I'll tell you what, this fucking statement, I am mortified because this statement that he made will be on the World Wide Web until we die. And my name is in that fucking statement. He's apologizing to me. He has nothing to apologize to me about. Okay?
You're like, I was not trying to look. I'm not looking for that.
No fucking way I was looking for it. And whatever Crow did to me, I fucking deserved it. And he didn't do it enough to me.
So
clearly,
you're saying you don't want to play the victim, but that statement, like,
which
so you
is
look
weird
like victim
because
Sean
a lot of
Avery.
people online were reacting as if you were trying to play the victim, and here you are.
I had a lot of people were like the other half, the 50% that
you always have two halves.
There's always the 50% that were coming at me were like, you're a fucking snake, you sellout, you fucking rat. When I started to get called a rat, I was like, whoa, let's put the fucking brakes on this here for a second. So then I came out and I did an Instagram video, or I tweeted saying, like, whatever Mark Crawford did to me, he didn't fucking do it enough. Let's just be clear. So I fucking spoke to the Chicago Blackhawk attorney. I get a phone call. I get a text message one day out of the blue from this Blackhawks attorney saying,
you had to be part of it?
Dude, he's like, hey, Sean, sends me a text. First of all, I called Stan Bowman's on Monday morning. I spent 3 hours calling the Chicago Blackhawks fucking practice rink or the United Center. I called every number that was available online.
Oh, so it's not that easy to get a hold of Stan?
No, it's not. It took me a long time.
You could have messaged him online at PussyCrusher6969. He's got an email account.
Is that an inside joke?
Callback.
Callback. Okay.
Our fans will enjoy that one.
Okay.
Or the loyal ones.
So I finally get Stan Bowman's secretary, and I leave a message saying, my name's Sean Avery. Could you have Stan Bowman call me back? He might know me. I played his dad coached me 15 years ago. I don't know. You also are apparently investigating your fucking assistant coach because of me. Give me a call. I don't hear shit for 3 more days. I get a text message from the Chicago Blackhawks attorney. So I'm like, okay. So I call this guy back. We get on the phone. He starts the conversation like a weird and uncomfortable way. Like, I'd like to speak to you about Mark Crawford. I was like, okay.
So awkward.
Like, well, what the fuck do you want to talk about, Crow? Like, just lay it out on the table, bro.
Let's go.
So he says, you said he kicked you. And then I'm like, holy fuck. Now I'm thinking to myself, am I like in court here? Like, where's my lawyer? I don't have a fucking lawyer on the phone. Like,
well, you're also like, I don't want to bury him.
Exactly.
Right now.
I'm like,
what if I say the wrong thing?
So I said to him, listen, coaches have different styles behind the bench. Like, sometimes a guy will break a stick on the ice, and you know, the guy at the end of the bench, the last guy at the bench with a stick, he's responsible for handing the stick. Well, if you didn't see that the guy on the ice broke the stick, maybe the coach comes down and fucking kicks you in the ass and says, hand him your stick. Like, there's a million different personal reasons why a coach would touch a player on the bench. They also touch them to tell them to go on the fucking ice. So I was like, you don't have a meter to see how hard a coach tapped me to say go on the power play versus the way he fucking kicked me to say you took a dumb penalty. So I was fired up right off the get-go. Then he asked me if I had ever heard Crow say anything homophobic or racial. I was like, whoa, fucking whoa. Put the brakes on here right now. Like, are we talking about the same coach? Because no, Mark Crawford never said anything racial or homophobic in a million fucking years. Never. So I'm thinking, like, I go, well, where'd you get that from? Like, did somebody tell you that? And
did you think it stemmed from maybe the Patrick O'Sullivan stuff? And Patrick O'Sullivan still, apparently, as he tweeted out, hasn't gotten a phone call, an apology, where I
what do you mean? His fucking name's in a statement. As is mine, that I'll never be able to scrub the internet
okay, so
from.
Hear me out. But okay, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not trying to kick up dust. Is I think that some people drew the moral compass on that one, which would be fair if they did, because it's a little bit personal to go after someone for something they can control at such an early age, right? And would you not expect maybe a phone call?
No.
Okay,
I would never
all right.
expect a phone call.
And it's hard for me to just not accept his opinion because he's been through it and I haven't. That's where I can side with Patrick O'Sullivan. I'm going to just bow out and say I'll let them two.
I'll tell you. I've learned a very interesting lesson in this whole process because I personally am mortified when I read that statement, and now that's going to be something that I'm going to have to see for the rest of my life.
If you don't know the backstory, Avery complained, "What a pussy!"
Yeah,
right. Like
Sopel said the same thing.
Right. Like I like Soaps. Soaps is a good guy. He's a good guy, but that was his thing. Like, don't fucking lump me in with all those guys now.
But I think they lump Soaps because he didn't complain when he first told us. We were kind of laughing about it.
I remember.
The media kind of took the narrative.
He called it a love-hate, and it was
right. But he also traded for him and brought him to right. So it's like, I don't know. That whole situation is very fucking uncomfortable for me. And
so do you think moving forward, and I think it's slowed down, thank God, because it was painful to talk about. I'm under the opinion that unless you're using racial with the aloo stuff or homophobic stuff, then like deal with it, kind of. Like Franzen's a different thing. He was battling some like serious mental issues, but a lot of this stuff is like whoa.
Well, here's the thing. I think all of us in the room can agree. You want to play for a coach that you would take a bullet for.
100%.
And if a coach...
They weren't helping themselves.
No, they weren't helping themselves. And like the one thing Crow never did, he never came down to the bench and gave me a hug or gave everyone a hug. Babs never hugged anybody. You know, there's a nice balance, like mix in a fucking hug every once in a while.
Or a tear after a game, get a little emotional.
Right.
Like I play for Mike Stothers, I bring his name up all the fucking time. Guy you would want to take a bullet for, and even he would come on after like emotional things happen, emotional wins, and you would see the big tough guy fucking, get teary.
Right. Like,
and it's fucking nice to see a little emotion. It's those types of guys that you want to play for, not the ones who are just there to fucking rag on you.
Absolutely. And I think that coaches shouldn't feel uncomfortable now, like, man, I can't fucking coach. How am I going to coach? I can't do anything to the players. Like, you'll get way more out of these guys if they want to fucking go through a wall for you than if they get into a taxi after a game and just motherfuck you for 3 hours until they're, drunk enough to not care.
I would say the best coaches and the ones who survived the longest are ones who are able to adapt to each individual personality in that locker room and read what every guy needs. Like I don't know, like going back to the Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin stuff. Like maybe those guys need a kick in the ass once in a while,
right?
And maybe they do need to be treated like kind of like thrown around and chirped and fuck you match here and there, where other guys are a little softer. Like if you can't your job as a coach to get the best out of your player, each individual one, and I mean you played for one of the GOATs in Scotty Bowman.
Yeah, I mean he had the ability, like,
he didn't give you a hug.
He didn't give you a hug, but like I felt like there were times you get tapped on the ass by Scotty and he says good job. Like,
that's a hug.
That goes a mile.
Oh yeah,
man, that felt good. Like, I'll never forget that. Whatever you want me to do, Scotty, just fucking.
Where am I bearing the body?
I'm right here. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Right, exactly. But
you do that anyway, though.
Him and Shanny, him and Brendan Shanahan always had. There was always tension between the two of them, and there were times that I remember that Scotty did something that really got Shanny pissed off, and maybe it was. He left him off the power play for a period, and or at the third he shortens the bench. Shanny doesn't play. Shanny comes back the next game and he's fucking angry. He's miserable to be around for 2 days until we play again, and that works. And Scotty understood that there was a way to get to Shanny without, because what are you gonna do? Some guys are just too rich, too good looking. Got too much going on.
Go at their ego.
Right.
Go at their ego.
Like Shanny.
You're like Shanny. So
what are
you really gonna do? So those are the good coaches. Those are the guys that understand how to get the most out of the fucking 23 guys in the room.
I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
What's the biggest regret of your NHL career, if you have one?
Biggest regret of my NHL career: signing in Dallas and fucking Brett Hall over. Probably.
Yeah, you've said you felt just horrible about that.
Yeah. Although
because it was a strictly money play,
total money play, and
Did you self-sabotage, you think?
Oh, fuck. Are you
there's
kidding?
no chance you weren't
Self-sabotage. That was, I don't know. Gomer, were you there when I came back? Yeah. I mean, I wasn't gone long. No,
23 games.
Yeah, like...
Quick stop in Hartford, and then back up and they're chanting Avery's name.
Quick
15 mil.
I remember I got to Dallas. I was just like, how the fuck do I get back to New York? Literally, in my head.
What were they offering you? Or were they not?
I think Slats was, it was like, 8 or 9. And
So
he was like,
that's
no state tax.
He was like, that's what you're worth, And I don't know. Glenn is like such a interesting dude, the way he just puts his foot down sometimes, and that was a situation. I got to Dallas. I was like, I don't fucking fit in here.
I find it shocking that you butt heads with so many guys.
Because I hate kiss asses. I just fucking don't like kiss asses. I don't.
Have you ever, next career now, been seeing like what? Because there's no chance that those people, as annoying as it drove me nuts. I don't wish I kissed ass, but I wish I had a little bit more of like.
Totally. I know what you're saying.
It's a fine line.
I know what you're saying. The interesting thing about the being on a film set now is like you're kind of given a pass to be in your own world. And you don't necessarily have to, like, there's a team environment for sure, but you don't. Once you're done your scene, you go back to your own trailer and you don't see anyone.
Yeah.
Like, you're not on the plane. You're not.
You got your own trailer?
I got my,
He was number 5 on the call sheet.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
Is that good, getting your own trailer?
I had a big trailer, like bigger than, you get your own fucking trailer,
Bowling
man.
alley in
I had to share one with RA on the West Coast wagon tour.
That's not good.
No, okay, all right.
Anytime you got to share
a SAG card.
Wait, but we're calling this similar to getting called up, and you have a couple of good games. Like, this is a big break for you. I mean, this is
it's going to be the biggest movie, I think.
That's awesome.
I think it's going to be one of the biggest live action movies ever made.
How much seconds will you have in this movie?
Well, that.
Never.
So you have no
never
clue
know.
yet.
Oh, you might have 0?
Oh, no. I know for sure, because of the way that things were shot, that I was beside the two lead.
You asked enough questions?
No, I was just in too many shots that I wouldn't be in the movie.
Yeah. Well, what about when you were on Patriots? It was Patriots Day, the movie about the Boston Marathon bombing. Peter Berg, you guys are friends, or like?
Yeah, Pete put me in Patriots Day. That was what.
He just got.
I saw you. I go, that was Avery.
Time out.
Like, what?
Peter Berg just got the Rihanna documentary.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's coming out on.
How the fuck's he gonna be
She
in
got
that?
$25 million.
It's
Is Marky Mark in it too?
And why is she gonna do another
puts
album?
Marky Mark in
Imagine a
everything.
Biz documentary. It's just a porno.
That's coming out on Amazon, I think. I
they
think
paid
that was a big
$25 million.
deal.
Peter Berg.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
So
interrupt you, but-
Pete I knew from Chelly, because Chelly played in Chicago, and Pete was on a show called Chicago Hope for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Written by David E. Kelly.
Yeah.
And
Married to Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yep, they were buddies in Chicago, and then when I got to New York, I ran into Pete, and we had known each other for since I was in Detroit. So we became close, and he was shooting Patriots Day and said, "Come to Boston one." It was just like, I don't know, a year after I'd stopped playing. He said, "Come to Boston. I'm going to put you in this movie." So, I get there, and like, fucking Mark Wahlberg, you're in Boston, and like the streets shut down, and it's a story that happened in Boston. It's a pretty powerful story for Boston.
Sure
Boston
is.
strong, baby. So I'm on the train home after I shot. I was like, holy fuck, man, you're on set. There's 300 people standing around. They say action. And like, if you're in a shot, you're in the shot. It's pretty powerful. Like, you get a feeling. There's nothing similar to fighting at Madison Square Garden, center ice, but like, that's pretty close. So I came back and I was hooked, and
That's what did it.
yeah, that was it.
The acting bug.
Yeah.
So you had the audition today. Like, is it?
So you're
it seems
unemployed.
like a daily thing where you're grinding to get shit.
You're unemployed until you're fucking
Yep.
employed. every single day.
That's
Well, I mean, it's a little nicer when you got enough in the bank where like
you're not waiting
relying
tables at Olive Garden like some kid in L.A.
Send that
With
thing,
the
cut a
fucking
Holly
breadsticks, bitch. Give me my breadsticks, Sean.
Yeah, or you have a.
Imagine just being like, "Where are my breadsticks?" He's rubbing his dick on him back in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, the sick shit that you'd be doing on my breadsticks in the back.
That's not the waiter you want to complain to.
No, he'd be going through his head in situations how he's going to kill you with the butcher knife in the kitchen, just like he is the bike lock.
I think people think every actor is like a millionaire, makes a ton of money, when that's not the reality at all. It's like you're humping from fucking job
You're
to job.
fucking unemployed until you're employed. And then when you're employed, you pay, I mean, athletes have it nice. 3% to their agents. Actors pay 20% to their agent and 10% to their manager, or sometimes 20 and 20. Then you pay the fucking government 50.
Oh, cock.
Like, you got to work.
So Denzel making 20 sheets for movies paying that?
He's probably got a deal with his agent that he's not paying 20.
But early on, they're getting you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
In the grand scheme of things, though, for what they endure, like and to his craft of Denzel Washington, he hasn't necessarily made that much money. Like 20.
No, here's where you make money. I'll tell you right now. And every month.
Swipe ups.
No. It's not swipe ups.
Den's 20.
Can I brands?
Hashtag Den's 20.
DHM detox.
Every couple of months, I go to the mail and I see a little fucking envelope, and it says SAG on it, and it's a residual check from Patriots Day that I was in for one fucking day, and it's a residual check for $900.
No way.
And
so Mark Wahlberg's residual of that.
So you're going to be getting one from every good movie you're in.
If you put a library of work together, dude, these guys make fucking money. I'm getting last year, I don't know, it was probably $4,000 altogether from Patriots Day. It was one day of work. So for the rest of my life,
when that movie's on,
you get paid from it.
Should have got that for the town.
You should have.
Dude, imagine.
But
I was only an extra though. I was a P.
You gotta. That's the difference. Like if you're a day player versus, they get you on like a real SAG thing.
You're on like a WestJet flight. So, you're putting every fucking screen on Patriots Day. Every empty seat.
No, I'm thinking of a movie.
She's watching something else. Like, ma'am, could you?
Ma'am, I got bills to pay, ma'am.
Imagine, but I'm thinking of a movie on TV all the time, like
National Lampoon's
Morgan Freeman's check from Shawshank. It's like every year.
What about Chevy Chase? National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Okay, so you're in the film industry. Why is he so mad now?
He's always been an asshole.
Yeah, I think
he's the worst guy.
Yeah, I think he's always been like.
He came from money. Like he didn't like. I mean, Chevy Chase is talented, but he came from like blue blood family. Like
right.
The SNL book said he was the worst.
Yeah. Nobody like a lot of people.
Oh, even when he was working there.
I guess like he's always been an ass.
That's why once he stopped like being really like that prime actor, he kind of stopped working because nobody really wants to. He can't work with anyone, or he doesn't like everyone.
And now he's resentful because, I mean, let's be realistic. Hollywood now is like if you have,
he looks like he's a fucking.
If you're like a 6 out of 10 actor and you got 10 million Instagram followers. And somebody outacts you. And, and you're an 8 out of 10 actor, and you have 1 million. They're going to pick the one with the following. They want the views, right? It's all about the streams now.
Absolutely.
So it's got to be a bit, frustrating for people who have talent who don't have the following.
He hasn't aged great.
He hasn't. No.
You're talking about aging.
Chevy.
That's another thing too.
Dave,
He's a
I want to
booze
ask,
bag.
where does your impish nature come from? You've always been like an irascible fellow when you played, and even off the ice. Was that like how you grew up?
I was always the smallest guy in my fucking class or on my team, and I have like major small man syndromes or little.
You're very self-aware.
Yeah, little. Shit. Yeah, I'm sure because I always had to like fight for everything. So
like the runt.
I was always the guy that was like, I gotta fucking get in there and just like get shit going because I'm just that little fucking kid, that probably shouldn't have been here or on the team. So. Yeah, my mom's also like she used to be like a bit of a firecracker. Like I remember going to Sears and my mom returning something and like
fighting with him.
Yeah, and she just wouldn't leave the store.
So a little genetic too.
Yeah, like
That's security.
we're
bringing
4
your
hours
mom-
in Sears because she's trying to return a fucking duvet cover.
that she bought at Walmart.
And maybe that would have been.
Yeah, she bought.
That's a good move. That's a good move.
Oh, you think I've never done it?
That's
I
a
played
good
in the
move.
coast, buddy. Don't you fucking worry. I
Change
played
the
This was the
price-
guy who bought a TV and returned it at the end.
Change
of
the
season,
price tag on
100%.
something every once in a while.
Oh, motherfucker.
How much do guys make in the coast now?
Oh, fuck.
I'm
Who knows?
betting
They're
you the
doing.
best players
have
are
they
still
got
next
You
to
want
raises?
to know the worst part of the coast now is teams own your rights now and shit.
What does that mean?
Like as in
No,
like
not every guy.
no, I know, but like certain guys coming in, it's like I don't know if there's like a draft or the first team you sign for, they like own your rights, so they can control what you're getting paid. It's like the next off season, you're not going into an open slate. You're going into like you're back with them, and they're only offering this amount of money, so they own your rights.
Well,
it's bullshit.
I think the worst case scenario in the coast is that you can only be called up by one AHL team because if you can see every team can call you up.
Yeah, but
it's
usually
different.
that means you're getting more money guaranteed. And sometimes guys like the guarantee, but I get what you're saying. Yes, you want to get to the next level and make more money.
But Biz, how much are they getting every 2 weeks or week, or how do they get paid?
Oh man, when I was in the coast, but I was
MVP
I was on a
Goldber's in the
I was on a two-way.
$20 million.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That was a tough year.
Wait, we never asked Gomer about the Alaska Aces.
Yeah, well, Gomer's got 7 more episodes.
Yeah. This is gonna be like the fucking Harry Potter
I
trilogy.
told him after.
We got the fucking Star Wars going to be doing the
Hey.
prequels, the sequels, the fucking.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Are you,
it's pretty easy riding a bus when your checks are
Yeah.
316,000 every 2 weeks. Yeah, it's a tough week.
Waiting for
down
confirmation here.
This.
Oh yeah, he paid for the whole team all year.
Yeah, that's
Remember
true.
They were saying
Hey, how about
most
Gomer?
generous guy ever.
How about Gomez buying like a fucking whatever, a penthouse in NYC, and then he did a full reno on it, and it looks like a fucking lumberjack guy.
It's an Alaskan ski
It's an
house.
Alaskan-
It's actually a very it's like a manly
tasteful?
chic.
Is it
It's
tasteful?
fucking beautiful.
Dude, Mark Jacobs.
Beautiful.
There's not chew spit on the floor?
Jonas Brothers
No.
were in there, Biz.
No, Gomer was one of the first guys to like, I think personally, get like an interior designer that like knew what the fuck they were doing. And
What's the person's
He
name?
made a
Michelle Gerson. Hey, why'd you hire her? She's
I
a
used
gorgeous
rental
girl.
furniture. He was going to spend so much more on the condo. He's like, now I'll use this to design the whole place.
Yeah. By the way, Gomer told me that
tell
today.
Tell that. Well, also,
So I walked in. I hadn't seen Gomer for years. Okay, so hey Gomer, what's going on? He goes, you fucking asshole. You got that book? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Book? What book are you talking about? I guess I went over to Gomer's apartment one day, and the designer and Gomer, they went to the bookstore, and they got all these fancy, like, cool books, these fashion books. So I go over to the apartment one day, I'm like, Gomer, that fucking book is awesome. Can I borrow that book? And I guess I didn't borrow it. I kind of.
Well, the best part is Gomer goes, so I go over to Aves' place. I go,
And the book's
oh,
like-
you bought the same book I got. He goes, no, this is yours, bro. Gomer's like, fuck, I knew that thing was missing.
But Gomer probably didn't give a shit because that guy buys everything, everyone,
For everyone.
everything.
Well, I've got his book somewhere.
Go to dinner with Gomer and you try paying, be ready to chop
Yeah,
nuts.
he's gonna
Hey,
fucking
Aves,
stab you with an axe.
Are you skates off forever?
I've never put a
Yeah,
pair of skates
and
on.
never again?
I'm
I
similar,
don't-
but I'm gonna get talked into it in the future.
No, I don't own a pair of skates. I've never
know what
skated
mine-
since
my
the
equipment is
last.
either.
Well, you guys looked pretty good in that. In the.
Yeah, I'm saying
you know what cameras can do.
I'm saying I'm
Yeah.
never gonna get back, and I'm not gonna be playing.
I'll tell you,
organized
Whit
men's
looked
league.
fucking tall and
I know,
like
I look
lean,
like a tall drink of water.
and like he was big.
drink.
Those shoulder pads just.
You
do-
looked. You just chopped it up. Fuck
those-
you.
Fuck you, man.
You were.
miles
I
per
was
hour,
brutal.
You
were
were
those accurate?
choppy.
The mile per hour shots. Everyone was asking, were those accurate?
I think
don't
they
know.
dropped mine and they raised his, but yeah.
Oh, shocker.
I wasn't a good player.
I don't think-
I found a way to make a living at the National Hockey League, and I am so fucking grateful.
I'll tell you,
Hey,
you should be
should
more
we-
grateful for his fucking New Amsterdam vodka.
Yeah.
Because, wow, boy, oh boy, those
Well, they should be
checks are
grateful
going to
for
be.
fucking us.
Yeah, it's a two-way street.
Now,
Mutually beneficial.
hey, me and Avery had a little run-in when we were in the American Hockey League.
Oh,
really?
You guys
remember? Well, yeah, you
Tommy
don't.
Sticks,
you don't remember.
Yeah,
It was
I'm
a
not
big
sure. I
deal
don't
to me.
remember that.
378 pounds.
It was in Wilkes-Barre. It was when we were at the Blue, and then I had to fight.
So this is when he's back from Dallas, I bet.
No, this is when he was.
Yeah, when he probably went to Hartford between Dallas and the
That's
Rangers.
right.
So he's pissed off.
I was fake pretending like I was a happy
I had
guy
to fight
because I had to
Sugden
get.
because of you.
Oh Jesus! Oh
you
God!
had Devin Didio-Mitty there too.
Oh, Devin, yeah, Brandon fucking Sugden. Wow.
Yeah,
I do not
dude.
wish him on anyone.
Yeah,
I saw him in
sucks.
Syracuse.
I survived.
Holy
I survived.
shit!
You met him?
Where is he?
I don't
That
know.
guy was tough.
I-
He's
I-
one of the toughest guys
so
in the
Avery-
OHL
Let's take a guess
history.
what the last league Brandon Sugden
I would say
played hockey.
the North American League in Quebec, where they
Yeah, where they just
The senior league.
What team was that?
you were playing for Hartford, obviously.
Oh,
I was with
Hartford.
Wilkes-Barre, and they'd asked me about some and I said, I said some comments. I was trying to stir the pot. I was trying to make a name for myself, and in warm up,
Wow, you had already played in the NHL, no?
no,
You were young.
I was
wow.
young. I was an up and comer. And,
Oh, that's
and
funny.
you were at the red line. You're like, why are you talking about me? You're like, why are you saying my names in interviews? Like, who are you? And like obviously got me going. And then your whole bench, you guys had a very vibrant bench down there. You probably
we
put
had
money on
some
the boards.
Yeah, we had some fucking nut jobs.
The CHL for the Tulsa Oilers.
So I
2
probably
games,
said
1 fight.
Suggs. Hey, Suggs. Gave him like a...
He
Because we were
goes,
buddies.
he goes, you won't fight him, you pussy. And I'm like, fuck.
You fight him, Suggs, you would fight him. 3 seconds into the fight, every piece of equipment on his upper body would be off his body. I've never seen it. He was
Nothing
like
to grab.
Go,
nothing.
Jack Gadget.
Everything was off of his body as quick as it was like a second, and everything was gone. And he was a fucking nut job, Suggs. Suggs, I loved you, buddy. You're. I'm talking. It's like we're talking about you like you're dead or something. Call me.
The year I played against him,
Send me a
45
DM.
games, 1 goal, 252 pims, and I remember the war. Syracuse rink was the war memorial.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure,
We-
and being like,
We've been going quite a while here, and I know we got some other guests coming in. We got to ask you about
Holy
the,
fuck! It's 7 o'clock.
I know you get
seriously.
dinner. Your
I'm gonna piss my
Jesus
pants.
Christ.
your wife and where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you?
we gotta read the lines.
Come on.
What you
yeah.
gotta ask him about?
Yeah,
I
what
was
were
going to
you-
ask you about getting your car towed, and Scotty Gomez is one of the guys who.
Yeah,
brought up the story.
Gomer.
Hey,
was
Gomer,
like-
come here and tell the
Can
story.
I get some of that Camus?
Gomer, come
What a
here.
classy, what a classy gift by Mike Grinnell. Our
Also, Gomer was on the ice when I did the Brodeur did the Brodeur screen,
all right,
whatever
we'll-
the fuck it was
we'll
called.
finish off with both the Avery rule.
And he made a sick pass, and I just
Film me when you-
buried
Done,
it.
buddy, thanks.
5-hole.
Oh, hey Scott,
I can't believe I'm still here, but anyway.
we sucked you into the vortex.
So, Aves, I forgot we went somewhere all day, and if you ever get in a car with Sean Avery, you realize that he is, he road rage come to mind, but it's everyone. It's the guy not selling hot dogs, correct, or whatever. So it's everyone. So me and Aves go to dinner with people, and Aves, he brought it up again. Like, we thought his car was valeted. It wasn't. We were just parked in the wrong spot. So
I think I got out of the car and I was like, I was walking on
You threw
water.
your
Maybe
keys,
we
it
had
was-
a good game the night
Yeah.
before.
He threw his keys
and
up
I
and
threw
went
my
in the
keys
sewer.
in the air, and there wasn't a valet to catch it.
It
So
was like Woody Harrelson taking the guy's piece of pizza. And
fast forward, we walk out of the restaurant. Gomer's with me, and I'm like, "Where the fuck's my car?" And then
So me being a good teammate, I'm like, you know what, Aves, I'll go get your car with you. It's not so. Anyone that said
Because it had gotten towed.
it gotten towed, we figured out it gets towed. So me and Aves, we go there, and anyone's ever been to the New York City Port Authority, you know, they run your show. I mean, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
So
Don't
I'm
give a fuck
sitting,
who you are.
yeah, I'm sitting down, and I'm just thinking that Aves is going to go politely up to the window in his car, and this fucking guy goes up. The lady's back is turned, kind of heavier set lady, and her back is turned, and Aves pounds on the window like three times. Where the fuck is my car? You guys do this, and right then and there, I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna be here for a long time.
it was bulletproof glass.
Yeah.
It was heavy ballistic glass, and I didn't think she was gonna hear me. And she wasn't the nicest gal in the world.
And she had a twinkle in her eye, being like, "Oh, don't worry, your car's coming right away." I think he was there. I finally had to
I
leave
was up
'cause
all night.
But speaking of A's, we drove all the time, because where we lived, we'd go to games, and Aves would right away in the morning talk about himself talk about what he did last night, this and that. And finally he turns to me.
Oh, he was the runt.
Finally, that little story he just said. And so he finally turns to me one time and says, well, what's your fucking problem, Gomer? Like, God, you can't say morning or hi or good morning. I'm like, no, I just have to wait till you're done talking about yourself, and then morning is. So we're leaving a game. We're leaving a game in Long Island, and it's too bad that things couldn't get recorded back then. And so we're leaving a game because we live by. And Aves is just. I'm next to him in the car, and he's just motherfucker. Oh, you think that? He's on the phone, and he's probably pretty. He's like, you think that? Fuck. Okay, you try doing this. Oh yeah, and he's just going off. He's just yelling at someone. It's just like, holy shit, wow. This, who's talking? Then after about 5 minutes of it, Aves is like, oh, hey, just put Dad on the phone. Just put Dad on the phone. I was sitting there going, and the driver looks at me, and I'm like, what the fuck?
So to your point, I think my mom was like giving me shit that I played like shit that night, and we were going. I don't know, I guess she probably, we were going at it on the phone.
You're like, haven't you seen my body of work this year, mother?
Chicken go back to your childhood. You don't even realize.
Totally.
I had 4 points in 6 games. I drew 2 minors. Are you kidding me, mother?
Let me talk
so
to
the
Dad.
first time you play against Aves, you know it's coming. Like another guy was Steve Otter, great. You hear that you're going against this. You're going to go against a prick on the ice, and we all say no one's going to get to you.
Yeah.
This and that, and so anyway, I'm taking a face off, and here he is. There's the Sean Avery that came over from Hollywood, and he's just chirping me, saying he's got that stupid look like you said, he's about to fight you, whatever. Like his little eyes squint. He's like, he's chirping and chirping, and I just turned to Aves, and I'm like, hey man, I smoke pot. Chill out. And Aves was like,
oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And that was the end of it. I never had a problem. I never had a problem with Aves. Like, literally was like, and everyone's like, wow, are you guys playing? I'm just like, that was pretty easy, but yeah, like, Aves,
I was like,
fuck out, dude. Like,
We're so wound up. If I would have been like, dude, I think you're funny. You're a good guy, and you're like, oh.
I came to
right,
the
man.
bench. I was thinking to myself, fuck, that Gomez is a pretty good guy out there. All right.
That's all it took.
Poor Marty. That's where it went.
All right, let's talk about this. Gomer, sit down. You were on the ice when this all happened. When he was doing.
Yeah.
What were you? So you were.
So it's not even that. I mean, first round we go against the Devils. Out of all the teams, got to go there anyway. So, and this is a thing I think where Aves, and I'll say this, where people have the misconception of Aves because we all know him as a human being and now as an actor, but he was a fucking hell of a hockey player, and that used to bug me because I used to. Every day I have a psychiatry session with Aves why he's pissed about this and that. I'm like, you could help us so much. Like you could, you're the kind of guy, and Aves would of course be like, yeah, you're right. And then, someone would say something, you look at a fan different, and he was back to Aves. So that just never.
That was.
But
not much of a sponge.
So we're on the power play. It's a 5-on-3. Big game. I think it was game 2, right?
Yeah, game 2 or 3.
So game 2 at the Garden, and. You get a 5-on-3, and people are like shocked that Sean Avery's in the diamond on the 5-on-3, but we know it, man. It's this guy, he's a good hockey player. Like and I'll never forget. The puck comes in the corner, I'm grabbing it, and I turn around. You start hearing fans do something. I go back to the point. I turn around, and this cocksucker's looking at Marty, and he's waving and it's like, and we all people have no clue what's going on. If this is even legal. Now think of the guys on the ice. Like we all grew up playing hockey. We're all like, this is playoffs, and it's literally like, what the fuck is it like? So the puck comes back, and for anything, it's kind of working. But if you watch the video, you kind of see me and Chris Drew.
Yeah, they didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Like it's basically like, hey, Aves, I don't know if you can do that. Like chill out. Like turn around. Like, and then the best part is that people don't watch the video longer. Aves puts one right in.
Gomer made a sick pass from behind the net.
I'm sorry to interrupt. You weren't breaking any rules then.
I wasn't breaking any. I was not breaking any rules. I was on the ice with. I was on
because it worked.
Were you thinking it up before the shift, or it just happened?
No, me and Brodeur had been going at it all season long, and every time I went to the front of the net, he's a fucking wily vet. He'd tap me in the back of the legs, and I'd fall into him, and I'd get a penalty. So you're on the power play with Gomez, Yager, Drury, Shanahan, okay? I'm doing everything in my power not to fucking take a penalty because I want those cookies. I'm staying on the ice for this power play. So I'm fucking 5-on-3, and I'm so nervous before I remember skating on the ice. I'm like, you dumb motherfucker, do not take a penalty. I'm telling myself in that.
And then look what he does.
Don't take a fucking penalty.
He creates a rule.
So I turned. I was like, fucking Sean, don't take a penalty. Turn around. I turned around. And it just hit me. And I put my fucking hands up, and I could hear Gomer on one side of me and Drew on the other, like, he's going to give you a penalty.
Well, the ref,
Koharski started yelling
The ref
at me.
didn't know. It was one of those things.
It was like
he didn't know what to do. And what's that movie?
Semi-pro.
Nobody's ever blind.
Semi-pro. Like
the alley-oop.
The ref was really like, Aves,
travel. No, that wasn't a travel.
Remember that? The
I
ref
can
was like,
remember
Aves,
him yelling,
Aves, don't
"You
do that.
can't
And
do
of
that."
course, Aves has got to be like, what am I doing? There's nothing wrong with this. And then he's kind of like,
Doesn't say
yeah,
keep blindfold the goalie.
it was literally like, it literally was.
There was a-
and the only thing I was pissed about, not pissed with Aves, but like, hey, puck's on my stick. I still need another guy. Where he's fucking, he's in the prime spot. And I'm like, put your stick on the ice, Aves. I can't.
Yeah. Well, I
He made it
did.
up. He put it right in. It was.
I just buried it, and that MSG.
And then the NHL was like, new rules starting tomorrow. I can't.
And then the
you
next
can't
day,
blindfold the goalie anymore.
the next day is the worst part. Is I got to drive with Aves. We're going to Jersey, and he's like, and he's got this stupid laugh. Like every hockey player's got their own laugh, and Aves is like, you see that? They made a rule. And then so I'm like, shut up. And then the next day, Aves has got T-shirts selling outside the garden. The Avery rule, and I was just like, Jesus fucking Aves.
That's such a biz move.
Yeah, and when it was. When we were driving, he's like, but do you see that? And I'm like, fuck Aves, we need.
I had my own merch store before Barstool had merch. We were selling it up front.
I got to ask Gomer, does it upset you that, and that one guy you get along with and another guy you get along with and Marty Brodeur don't get along? Do you want to bridge that gap?
It's literally, it doesn't like, and Aves answered, honestly, it's like, there's certain, in we've all had it. I might love a coach, take a bullet for a coach, this and that, and one of my best friends would piss on his fucking grave if he could. It's just, it is what it is.
Chemistry.
It's a business, is this and that.
Is it working?
It's later on in life. The whole point is later on in life we all get together. If you're still that prick,
laugh about it.
If you're still that prick that's sour about something that happened 20 years ago, or you're still, your life is not, I don't mean to step on it, but your life hasn't probably been good because this was a fraternity. It was something special. And like I said earlier with the Devils, that's why with Aves, people, this was the first question you got. How is this guy? You never judge what you did off the ice.
I mean,
it's on the ice, what you did.
We'll never, like, me and Gomer played in MSG, Madison Square Garden, before they did the renovation. We had some fucking great games in that building. That's a memory you're going to have for the rest of your life. That's the most famous arena in the history of arenas ever on the face of the planet.
Colosseum in Rome?
Yeah, it could be. I mean,
I think the redo's pretty
but
sick
it's also,
too,
it's not the
it's
same.
not the same.
It's
but they
also
did
with
a good
Aves
job with
too.
what they had.
Is we're all taught as hockey players, since we're don't say anything. These guys are always right. So maybe I got a problem with that later on because well, if you're going to tell me to do something, if you tell me we win the Stanley Cup, I got to go through that window. Well, I expect you to tell me how to go through the window. You know, and that's a voodoo question. Like, just do it. Well, how am I doing it? Where like guys like Aves and certain guys, they were ahead of the game about. This is a business. You're your own CEO.
Business.
We're done. I mean, we're talking about East Coast League. Guys play this for love, but they can talk. Everyone can talk about how passionate it is. But how many guys we played with? They sign. Their families go get a nice house. Blah blah blah. You're gonna be here.
Gone.
You're gone, and it's just okay. But we're not supposed to give our opinion. Where Aves, some of the antics like the T-shirt thing. It was like,
man.
what the fuck are you doing, dude? It's money in your pocket.
Yeah,
that's this, and it was smart. So there was a lot of things I think people, because I was from the old school. I'm more of this. How'd you get along with Sean Avery? I'm like, I just cared about what Aves did on the ice.
Sean, we have to fucking end this thing, dude.
It's dude. It's 7:17.
Your wife's gonna kill you.
I'm hungry. I'm tired.
Your dogs are.
Aves, thank you very much.
Thanks,
you're
guys.
the man. Thank you for coming.
Camus. Times are good.
Hey, I think this interview might make people like you.
No way.
Yeah, just kidding.